What is up, you guys? Nick here. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Thanks for coming back if you're not. With NIO stealing the limelight lately, completely taking the spotlight, we tend to lose focus on other companies also making substantial business gains and hitting milestones. Furthermore, with NIO Day fastly approaching, Xpeng has gone pretty much uncared for these past few weeks, and I wanted to shine some very warranted light on it. Many analysts and investors alike are looking at Xpeng as being really undervalued currently and one of the dark horses in the EV Chinese race. One thing is for certain about Xpeng, and that is it is definitely within the top competitors, breaking apart from the rest in terms of EV companies coming out of China. In this video, I want to talk about Xpeng's recent delivery feats. I want to talk about why analysts think it's a safer investment than some other industry competitors, and whether now, with valuations having extremely suffered the past few weeks, marks a phenomenal time to buy for a long-term hold. We have a lot to get into in today's video, but first, Webull has improved their promo. They are now offering 4 free stocks worth up to $3,700 for free. All you have to do is 1, sign up, 2, open an account, and 3, deposit in at least $100 using the link in my description. This is a complete no-brainer. They offer some of the best analytics in the game. They are a 0% commissions trading platform. I use their app literally every single day. The offer ends soon, so do not sleep on it. I've also recently started a Patreon page within the past few days. Thank you to all the patrons who have pledged already. It really means so much to me. Thank you for chatting and engaging in discussions, contributing. I love it so much. I'm going to be posting a lot on there, behind the scenes content, Q&As. I'm going to be posting all of my trades throughout the course of 2021. I'm just going to upload my spreadsheet, every week or two. I finished 2020 with over a 50% ROI. So yeah, if that interests you, the link is in the description. Thank you to my patrons who have pledged already. Seriously, thank you so much. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Xpeng, as most EV companies did, they released their delivery numbers on January 3rd, just yesterday. Now, analysts were indeed expecting December to be a huge month for EV companies in terms of deliveries, pretty much across the board. With the vaccine rollout, the health situation ongoing seems like less of a threat, and China specifically seems to have recovered, at least in terms of their automotive division. December is also typically regarded as being the highest, if not close to it, month in terms of automotive sales across mainland China historically. Now, just as I did with NIO's evaluation, I want to take a step back, take a rewind, and look at Xpeng's deliveries throughout the months of September, October, and November leading into this December delivery release. It really gives a full picture. So going from September to October, we actually saw a minus 12.59% retreat. However, this is understandable as China's National Golden Week holiday encapsulated 1 week of the month. Therefore, they were essentially only operating at 75%. Now, interestingly, investors seemed completely okay with this, and they were still very bullish on the stock. Remember that deliveries for October are announced in November, and it was actually only then that we saw share prices beginning to surge. Pretty counterintuitive. In fact, this bullishness was kept intact throughout the majority of November, surging more than 270% at one point. I do realize this coincided with many other EV companies across the board having valuation surges, but I did find it somewhat counterintuitive. Next, moving to November deliveries, which were released in early December, we saw a massive recovery showing viability in their operation with a 38.95% increase. However, we actually continued to see these falling share prices. I do think some of this was an overall correction from the massive run-up we saw in November and cross-market sell-offs. However, I was quite intrigued with the timing, and I'll get into why shortly. Now let's get to the big news. Let's get to December deliveries. And just like other competitors in the EV market, Xpeng completely knocked it out of the park, pretty much into the atmosphere, just like NIO. And you know what? They are on their way to the moon as well. They bought a one-way ticket too. They delivered 5,700 units, marking a 34.94% increase month over month. What's more important to me is just how short of a time Xpeng has had to been able to get these numbers up into the 5,000s. Now, I do realize there are a lot of factors that have contributed to this, but it's important to note just how short of a time Xpeng has had to do this, and they've reached 5,000 much quicker than a lot of industry competitors. Xpeng's year-over-year increase in terms of deliveries, and no, I'm not kidding about this, is 326%. That's incredible. That is more than a quadrupling of deliveries in the same period last year. Their Q4 as a total represents a 303% increase year over year and an incredible 51% gain from just last quarter. Now, what I did find interesting about their delivery figures is although we are seeing an increase in both model types, the P7 and the G3, we are beginning to see an increasingly lopsided delivery output. Their newest vehicle, the P7, their sedan, is really starting to outperform their G3, their smart SUV. The P7 logged 3,691 compared to just 2,009 from the G3. This margin appears to be growing as well, which may be indicating increased buying pressure on sedans, which if you have watched my channel before, you'll know I'm kind of excited about, as NIO is releasing their first sedan in the coming months. I cannot wait. I also do like that Xpeng only has 2 vehicles on their roster and they're different. It makes the choice very concise and clear. Do you either want a sedan or do you want an SUV? It's like picking between chocolate and vanilla at an ice cream shop instead of having 10,000 choices. It's much more easier and simple, and Xpeng is all about simplicity. People want simplicity, and Xpeng is delivering on this. They do indeed have a new production model lined up for 2021, and I will be keeping you all informed as updates are released. Xpeng's total deliveries for the calendar year 2020 have surmounted to 27,041 units, which is incredible as they are such a young company, and these are already very respectable numbers. Remember that their P7, their sedan, only began deliveries this year, in late June, was it? Late June. And they've already contributed 15,062 of their 27,000 vehicles sold. This is incredible, it really is. Now what I really like about Xpeng is that they are so unique and they're setting themselves apart. If you've watched this channel before, you know I have very similar sentiments about NIO. But NIO and Xpeng could not be 2 more different companies. You cannot compare them against each other whatsoever. You really can't. NIO uses an outsourcing model. They have a swappable battery system. Xpeng is vertically integrated or near it, and they have sedans and they use supercharging. They're completely 2 different companies. You cannot superimpose one on top of the other. So yes, I am invested in both companies. I like both companies a lot. Xpeng attributes its increasing in sales to supercharging service incentives across China, their expanded sales, marketing, and increased brand awareness. I really like that Xpeng is striving to become vertically integrated, having their own production plant. They are really focusing on research and development, having more than 40% of Xpeng employees dedicated strictly to R&D and autonomous driving technology. This is all developed in-house, and they are already beginning plans to develop yet another manufacturing plant, staying well ahead of their delivery capabilities. Now, I do think this is going to be an absolutely massive week for this company and resultingly their share price. I really do. They have partnered with LiDAR technology, Livix, who are a leading LiDAR maker. They will deploy this automotive grade LiDAR technology in Xpeng's new production model in 2021. This is very promising and may increase their chances at becoming the first Chinese EV company to achieve full L4 autonomy. I will have a full video explaining the potential of this. Xpeng has also recently begun delivering in Norway, one of the top powerhouses in terms of EV sales in Europe. So again, taking a drastically different approach from NIO. NIO is focused on a small market, one of the smallest in Europe, Copenhagen, Denmark, while Xpeng is throwing itself into the fire and going straight for the jugular, straight to Norway. It's a fierce competitive market, but I do like how the 2 are so different. Now, I'm not saying in any way that one is better than the other in terms of European expansion models, but they are essentially hedged against one another. There are pros and cons on both sides, and I do like being invested in both companies. Moving to their shares, I would not be surprised to see shares begin their trajectory back up. I do think we have already bottomed out, and the ascent will surmount in the coming days and weeks. I was personally picking up small quantities of shares on the way down, and I do see this company as being in the top contention in terms of EV Chinese company startups, and I really do like their direction. they are continuously pushing and developing their autonomous driving tech, which they see as a strong point. They are vertically integrated and they are rapidly increasing deliveries month after month. It is a very exciting time to be an Xpeng fan and an investor. And you know what? An investor of EV across the board. It really is going to be an exciting week and a month. And I have so much planned for you guys down the pipeline. I've been doing so much. There's just so much news constantly happening. I'm kind of exhausted, but I'm doing it for you guys. So thank you for showing me the same support. Thank you for liking, commenting, engaging in discussions. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget about the Webull promo, 4 free stocks worth up to $3,700. And if you want to support me, help me out a little bit, check out the Patreon page. I really would appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys all in the next video. Take care. Happy trading. Cheers.